All right, so what we're going to do today is I want to talk about 2-3, the rational zero test. In class, we got as far as long division and synthetic division, so I decided to go ahead and create a video for the rational zero test, so we can finish off this section through this video. All right, so rational zero test requires you to know two letters, P and Q. Excuse me. All right, what is P? P represents all the factors of the constant. What is Q? Q represents all the factors of the leading coefficient. A lot of times when you are asked to solve a polynomial function, you're going to ask, well, how do I start? Well, the first thing I'm going to say is for you to find your P's and Q's. And then once you find your P's and Q's, then you're going to divide them. So P over Q gives me all the rational, I need to throw a word in here, all the rational zeros. The word right there, all the possible rational zeros. So P over Q does not give me all of the rational zeros. It will give me a list that I can choose from. And whatever rational zeros I have, it will come from that list. All of them will probably not be a rational zero. Also, at the same time, let's think about what the word rational means. Rational is any number that can be written as a fraction. Whole numbers, 5 can be written as a fraction. 5 over 1, 10 over 2. 0.33333 with a 3 repeating can be written as a fraction, 1 over 3, right? Non-repeating and non-terminating decimals are not rational. They are irrational, like pi, 3.1415, so on, so on, so on. All right, so that's what a rational zero would be. We're going to start off with a simple one, and the instructions for this is find all the possible rational zeros for f of x is equal to x cubed plus x plus 1. This is a very simple one, mainly because your constant is right here. This is your constant. And your leading coefficient is right here. Let's just abbreviate that as LC. Well, I know that if I'm looking for P is the factors of all of the constant. My constant is 1, so the only factor I need to think about is 1. But there's another one. Okay, I know 1 times 1 gives me 1, so 1 is a factor of 1. But also -1 times -1 is a factor of 1, so it will also be a factor of 1. So I have to put the positive and the negative for each one that I list. Same thing with Q. The leading coefficient is a 1, so its factors are plus minus 1. Then I'll come to this part right here. If we had more of these, then I would take every one of those P values and put it over each and every one of the Q values. Well, here I only have 1 over 1. So that's the answer. Find all the possible rational zeros. Well, if there is a rational zero for this function, it's going to come from this list. It's either a positive 1 or a negative 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and tell you it's neither one. Okay, so there are no rational zeros for this function. There are other zeros that are irrational. All right, so let's take a look at another example. Same instructions, find all the possible rational zeros for f of x is equal to 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 8x plus 3. All right, so this time I've got a little bit more to deal with, not a whole lot, but a little bit more to deal with. Here's my constant. So all the factors, all the numbers that will multiply give me 3. 1 times 3. Get the positive and the negative each. And then Q. Q is the factors of my leading coefficient. My leading coefficient is a 2. So all the numbers that will multiply give me 2. 1 times 2. And the positive and negative of each. Then we'll do P over Q. I'll just do this off to the side over here. It is very helpful for you to do this in a very organized way. I'll take each one of these and put it over 1. So 1 over 1 is 1. And I'll do 3 over 1 is 3. Then I'll go 1 over 2. And then 3 over 2. This would be the answer to that question, to list all possible rational zeros. There's your answer. Then I'll do one more that's a little bit more complicated. All right, so right here we only had one possible rational zero, technically 2. Over here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the negative, so there's 8 possible rational zeros. This next one will have a bit more. Okay, so last example. Find all possible rational zeros for the function 10x cubed minus 15x squared minus 16x plus 12. All right, so here's my constant. So let's find all the factors of 12. Well, I know 1 will divide into 12, and 1 will always be listed. 2 will divide into 12. 3 will divide into 12. So will 4, 6, and 12. So all the factors of 12, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Q will be the factors of my leading coefficient. There's my leading coefficient, it's a 10. So let's list all the numbers that will multiply, give me 10. Well, 1 times 10, 2 times 5, 3 won't, 4 won't, but again, we just mentioned 5, and then we mentioned 10. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 P values listed, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 Q values listed. All right, remember I said do this in a very organized fashion. I'll take each one of these and put it over 1. So 1 over 1, 2 over 1, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Then I'll take each one of these and put it over 2. 1 over 2, 2 over 2, but remember 2 over 2 is equal to 1, and I already have it. 3 over 2, 4 over 2 is equal to 2, I already have it. 6 over 2 is equal to 3, I already have it. 12 over 2 is equal to 6, I already have it. Okay, so I'm not going to write them down again if I don't need it. Then I'll do everything over 5. 1 over 5, 2 over 5, 3 over 5, 4 over 5, 6 over 5, and 12 over 5. And then everything will go over 10. 1 over 10, 2 over 10, 2 over 10 reduces down to 1/5, I already have it. 3 over 10, 4 over 10 reduces down to 2/5, I already have it. And 6 over 10 reduces down to 3/5, I already have it. And then 12 over 10, which I don't have, reduces down to 6 over 5. So this is a longer list of possible rational zeros. So again, if this function has any rational roots, then it will come from that list. It will not come from anywhere else, it will come from that list. Okay, so that is the quick lesson on what the rational zero test is. Okay?